Howdy, everybody. Hope the sound is okay. I'm kind of out of practice on this. Alrighty. So I'm just going to kill some time. Obviously, you guys didn't have a whole lot of notice, which is okay. I don't have a whole lot of notice on things going on in my life either. But so I've got a wide variety of topics I'd like to talk about today. Unfortunately, my power station is only currently at a 75% charge. So just going to do what I can do. As you can see, there's probably a little bit of wear and tear in my face. And there's more internally. And there's a lot of stuff I will say, and there's a lot of stuff I can't say. But I've done everything I can do. I've tried the best I can to be a productive member of society. And, yeah, thought I had that on airplane mode. Let me rectify this. That's my whole day right here summed up. Trying to rectify problems. Hold on one second, folks. I didn't hit it on airplane mode. I had turned off the Wi-Fi for where I'm located on the phone. So here we are, 74%. Hi, Melinda. Melinda, you ought to change that to GN dollar symbol. G no monies. But anyway, so man, this is totally unscripted. And I know whatever I say here today is going to be ridiculed, analyzed. People are going to have thoughts and opinions. That's what people do on YouTube, right? But I will tell you from the bottom of my heart, I've tried the best I can to stay alive and just just try and make it. Try and make it, right? So I have uh, I have some notes I kind of wrote down on my clipboard, but before I go to those notes, before I forget, I want to try and thank some YouTube friends. And I may be, due to the stress and everything I'm going through, I may have forgotten a name or two on this list. But uh, these people I'm going to mention know why they are being mentioned. I would hope and think so. I would like to thank Chris from Shade Tree America, Jason Johnson from JJ Drones, Brian from Shade Tree America, Ken from Lone Cowboy Adventures. I actually did not say Lone Star Adventures. It's actually Lone Cowboy Adventures. That was Ken. Nice guy. Sherry, old friend from high school that pops in and out every once in a while to watch my ramblings. Paul C. out there in California, consulting Governor Newsom. Um, Dan, the droning veteran. Uh, Tishan Pooch from Full Blown Country. Nick, Multi Hunter 24/7. Josh Sherman from Sherman's Family Farm. LB from Woman Outdoors. Like I said, I probably am forgetting a couple names, and most of these people know why they're on this list. I thank you. I truly thank you. Now I'm going to get on to some of the notes. Like I wrote some notes just literally like 2 minutes before I was about to go live. And there is no particular order to the list. And I want to preface this content that there's always helicopters flying above. We're on a training area for the military and a different aviation center that we do tend to get a lot of aviation and aircrafts over where I'm located. So if you hear that, you hear that. I want to thank and commend. I'm having a hard time looking into the camera, so just work with me. Um, Today was real bad. And I'm not even going to hide this. I just got parked, so I'm going to take a sip. I'm going to go with the order that it's written on the sheet, just so I can check it off and not miss any topic here. A lot of YouTubers have a channel that they follow and they love dearly, and it's Full Blown Country. Tish and Pooch. They're very active in the YouTube community. They're very active in their own community. They are very good people. They try and help people when they can. And I'm not going to lie to you, I've been a recipient of that assistance. So anybody's not really watched their channel, I encourage you to go over and watch Full Blown Country. They try to help another YouTube channel that is very close to many of the YouTubers because they've overcome a lot of obstacles and hurdles in life. I'm going to emphasize the word life. And that channel is if you can try and either go over to a channel called Goat Days, GOAT, like goat, typical word goat, and then Days, DAZE. They have a GoFundMe channel. They're trying to get their only source of transportation up and running. I know a lot about that. And due to their lack of transportation, it's caused them lack of income and sources of income. But there, like I said, there's a GoFundMe, and Tish Ross and Mike Ross, Pretty and Pooch, they did a like a auction fundraiser to try and raise funds for them, and I thought that was great. And even though they battled through some adversity with connectivity problems and stuff like that, I thought they did a wonderful job. So let me I'm going to cross off a couple things. I am going to go a little bit out of order. Um, I want people to understand something. I'm going to tell you something. It's it's just the truth, right? It's nothing else but the truth. Nobody needs to do anything else or think they know it all or whatever. But I'm going to tell you the truth on something I struggled with almost a month ago, that I was struggling with for months. That was not being able to pay the automobile insurance. If I could not pay the automobile insurance, then my license, I would lose all privileges to drive legally. If I got caught driving illegally, I would lose my license. My vehicle would get towed. My vehicle is my home. It's not pretty, but it's better than the options that some people endure around me. And I'm not going down that road. No way in hell. So a few days prior to January 5th, a local new friend who lets me boondock at her property. I'm looking at the power connectivity. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make sure. I know I'm trying to choose my words selectively, where they're not going to be ripped apart. And I knew the last day for me to be able to have any chance in hell to serve. I keep looking here, and I should be looking here because you can tell I'm out of practice. I knew the last chance for any chance of real survival legally without it snowballing, the last day would be January 4th. And what I'm about to tell you, people will not understand, because I guarantee you, probably almost or nobody watching will understand what I'm about to tell you. January 5th was a predetermined checkout date. It's not because I have mental health problems, because I know the consequences of my situation. I know the repercussions. And so, yeah, January 5th was it. I was all set. I was at peace with it too, believe it or not. And a few days prior, you know, the friend was said, like, this came out of nowhere. I didn't even ask for it, think of it, or anything like that. So I know there's going to be two trains of thought on this. So she said, let's add you to our policy. And I was like, well, I never really thought of that, and it didn't feel like I knew them that well to do that. And so that conversation had gone on for, I don't know, 2-3 days, whatever it was. And then so I kept trying to confirm that I didn't have a lapse, because then I'm in a whole nother category financially. It's like everything's a snowball effect. So I try not to be a pain in the ass and follow up too much, but I kind of need to know. It's involving my life, my driving record potentially could be like a criminal record, certain aspects. And so I found out on January 4th that I was insured. I still have no proof of insurance, but that has been attempted. So I'm not mad at anybody involved in this process, but I am trusting this process, and there's a helicopter above me. Like I told you guys before, when I first moved here, I thought there was just always a whole bunch of bad guys running around. Now it's just aviation training facility. So I was talking about the insurance, and so anyway, so I was, so then I was sent a link through Messenger, and it didn't open up on my phone, so I have no way to have verification on that. It's a long story. I'm not trying to piss off the person that did this kind deed, but I kind of need to have it in case I do get pulled over, because if I don't physically have it, they could cite me, and then I have to have a physical appearance, and that's a whole nother thing. LB Cheesehead, Melinda. I know, Melinda, you've been a big supporter of the channel, and I appreciate you too. I don't think I mentioned you earlier, um, but I do appreciate you, and thank you. I know a lot of Melinda. I know a lot of the channels respect you, and you're a very good supporter of many channels. So I thank you for that. So where am I going with the insurance thing? So it's I just know I've been trying real hard. So let me just cross off. I'm going to cross off the insurance thing, but I'll probably end up winding back around to that, because it all everything I'm going to ramble about intertwines. Uh, so I'm not proud to admit this, but I've been trying to go through the cycle of dealing with the state of Florida for food assistance for the first time in my life. So let me try and get this. So based on my lack of income and all the projections I had researched, I thought I could qualify for $291 for food assistance, which is desperately needed. The process took a while. It was total cluster. And so everything is literally snowballing out of control. And as of today, I realize it's gone. It's like I can't stop this snowball. It's a snowball that starts on Mount Everest and just goes down the hill. And right now, it's out of control. There's nothing I can do. And the one last thing I was hoping and holding on for was food assistance, so I could possibly divert funds. And I'm going to get back to the funds, which I really don't have to. Let me write this on the list, because it just dawned on me what I'm lacking, so you can understand where the money is going. I got notification via computer through a website that I'm eligible for food assistance, blah blah blah. I will get notification in the mail. Had to go through a battle with the post office again, and that's another thing. That's just more. Here goes another helicopter. But I'm going to show you what the disbursement is to keep me alive through June 30th, 2024, with food assistance. And I hope this can appear clearly. January, they're going to give me $17 for the entire month. February, going to give me $23. And May through June, going to give me $23. food assistance to live on. Okay. That was my last lifeline. Thank you. Let me cross that off the list. I have talked about the problems with the Social Security card, all the hiccups that came with that. That still has presented a lot of problems. Did some follow up with another temporary agency, and in dialogue with them, the lady was reviewing the notes and said, no, you have to have, like, no, I've already talked to you. I have my Social Security card, blah, blah, blah. And so anyway, Melinda, I'm seeing your message. I have no idea. I think I know the policy company. I don't know the official names of the policy holders added onto their policy. So I maybe if I gave them the VIN or something, I don't know. But right now, that's another topic that is going to be covered here. So where was I going? Social Security card. So yeah, the temp agency, they're like, no. I call them and I'm like, no. They said they were going to have me as active, available for employment and all this stuff. I call back, no, we're still waiting on you. No, we've already had this conversation. It's just like every way you could piss in a fan has happened. And none of these things are my wrongdoing. It's like other people. It seems like anytime other people get in the process of my life or my survival, that's the weak link. That's the weak link in the chain. So there's still major struggles with the Social Security and the temp agency and all this stuff. There was a possibility for employment for 10-hour nights, and I'm still waiting on that. My vehicle tags expired at the end of December. That's my license plate on the back of the van, and to renew that, I have my registration card. It would now, because it's late, because it's more than 10 days late, it would be $115 to renew my tags. But part of the submission to renew the tags is I have to declare either on the internet or on the mail-in form. They call it I think it's called an NAICS number. It's like identifies what your policy company is. Like it's like a 5-digit number, I think. And then you have to state the policy number so they can verify that you're not BSing, that you don't have insurance. Well, I can't. First of all, I don't have the money to pay the tags, so I'm trying like hell not to get pulled over, because that's just going to be another poop storm. I'm trying to get this clipboard to stand up correctly. I guess I'm going to have to hold it. But so yeah, so you can see, like, I'm not a village idiot. I understand I've been trying to tell people for months and months and months and months. I can see where this is headed due to another person involved with a 3-letter title. So, so yeah, that's the deal with my tags. I don't like doing it. I feel like a derelict. I feel like a criminal. It's weird. Prior to, for a long time, I think I've even talked about this, like subtly, or on some of my previous lives, or different lives. But if I was ever to receive an inheritance that was okay, I want one of my dreams. This is a dream of mine. This is like Martin Luther King. I have a dream. I have a dream. Well, pretty much all I have is a dream. I don't have any money. But I don't think Tish knows this exactly my thoughts on this, but I want to establish, I don't know what you call it, like a fund of some sort where it would help people in times of crisis. I've thrown around some numbers in my head that I would like to do, but I'd also like to pay my tag, you know. So I'm projecting what could happen a year from now or 3 months, you know. But my my dream is to create a special fund that perhaps could be monitored by a small panel of individuals, maybe 3 people, whatever. And in cases like somebody like Goat Days that would need assistance, maybe that could be a fund, a special fund that could, you know, some of the money could be either granted to them or loaned to them or whatever to help them, you know. $2,500 is, you know, as they know, is a large chunk of money. So I'm not saying that that would be the entire amount allocated. I'm just using that as a hypothetical. No, I just had this thought, and obviously I would like to talk to other people that could be involved to, you know, if I ever get to that point. I'm pretty damn sure after today I'm not getting to that point. But let me check this off. Um, my job and wages. My job, it's a job. It's you know, the wages suck. The job is the job, and the more I stay at the job, the deeper I'm gonna. The more I'm like right now, my credit score has dropped 50, 60 points in the last couple weeks, and I projected that because there's nothing I can do about it. I can either go out and steal, rob, sell drugs or something. I wouldn't even know how to get drugs. I can't even get. I had a toothache the other night. I didn't even have any ibuprofen. So so I think I just summed that up relatively quickly. Yeah, my credit score, it, it's not coming back. Not anytime soon. Um, people, I don't think people realize, like, and I'm not trying to sound like a hero. I'm at 60% left on my power station, and I'm not trying to sound like a hero or a, you know, or this is, it's like I've been in survival mode for a long freaking time, and it sucks. It's okay if you're camping for 2 3 days or a week and you're in survival. It, it's all cool. You know, I'm up for the challenge. But if I run, we're in the Panhandle of Florida, and we're real close to Alabama, what have you, and um, we've had nights with the wind chill, it got down to 7 degrees. Well, everybody's like, "Oh, you're in Florida." Everybody thinks because it's Florida is in the title. No, it's like freaking freaking cold. So when I've had the money, I have run the heat in the van. Basically, my broken gas gauge, I'm estimating it probably costs $20 a night to run for 10 hours or whatever. I don't know. And my heat doesn't work great, but it works way better to my than my AC, which that's going to be another topic coming. So so yeah, there's been a lot of survival. When I talk about survival, there's been nights where, do I freeze or do I eat? Lots of those nights. Freeze or eat. Freeze or eat. I had pneumonia for 4.5, 5 weeks. Kept going to work because I had to. But I coughed all over the place, and they even talked about sending me home. I fought it, and somehow I'm still alive. But it sucked because I found out after 4 or 5 days of taking Dayquil that it was making me vomit, and I was allergic to it. So it's like everything I'm trying to do properly is not working. I'm not blessed, so to speak. So today I was at a location I like to go to in Milton. It's a river, and it's like a little park, and today was the prettiest day I've seen in a long time. Prettiest day because it was just, the water was so calm, temperatures were so clear, and it was it made me feel at peace even after finding out I can live on $17 a month. I was elated, as you can see. So it's just at that point I knew, I know what I know. I was like, all right. So but that river, it just made me feel so at peace. Just it was it was awesome. I just wish I could have stayed there longer to enjoy it because I had a couple other things I had to do. There's other reasons why I couldn't stay there, but um, my favorite musician is a guy named J.J. Gray. He's from Florida, and there's actually, if you go to YouTube, there's actually a video called "This River" by J.J. Gray. I almost called him J.J. Jones. I know J.J. Jones can't sing worth a hoot. He can barely talk or do math. But the video, "This River," I don't know, something about it. It's just so, I don't want to say symbolic because that would probably give the wrong connotation, but it is so powerful. Anyway, when you get a chance, watch YouTube, JJ Gray, "This River." It's a really cool little video. And if you ever get a chance, there's a documentary. It's a mini documentary about JJ Gray, and I really like it. He's really talented, and just because being next to the river, that gave me some reflections on when I was happy, especially listening to his music and what have you. Um, Couple of things I'm on the fence about talking about. I don't know. I will say the last video I did prior to this one was a video in Milton. I did about a place in Milton, Florida called Nature's Pride. And it was kind of weird. Like some of my shorts do okay at times, and there's different, but basically after like 24 hours, that pretty much is the run of it. Well, after about 24 hours of that video titled Nature's Pride, I had about, I think, 1,100 views. But for whatever reason, I don't understand the algorithm or the process or whatever, but YouTube ran that for a long time. And I got to 6.3 thousand or 6,300 views. 6.3K is what I was trying to say. I'm sorry. And views on that video, that it was just a quick spontaneous thing. And when stuff like that happens, it kind of makes you feel good. You feel like you're contributing in some way, that you did something worthwhile for people, that somebody apparently appreciated. And when I've looked at some of my shorts, anytime I'm not a rocket scientist, so obviously I'm sitting here talking about homelessness and stuff like that. So everybody knows I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. But what I've been able to ascertain is anytime you mention a location, a geographical location, like a city and town, in a title or a description of a video, my success has been much greater. So that is my 2 cents to those doing shorts and what have you. Um, I was working with this guy recently that just left to do another job, and we worked in the same aisle as, and we worked pretty well together. Like we always didn't jive 100%, but we worked very well together. And so I kind of like have been consulting him, like about he's already in the EBT system and stuff like that, and the process and different things, so that he's more familiar with this area. So I kind of like, and other than that, I pretty much stayed to myself at work until recently. I opened up to a couple other people, but he was telling me how much money he gets, and you know, and his wife and stuff like that. So I was kind of expecting $291 a month. Not going to lie to you, not 17. If I get lucky, I could stretch 17 into 2 days. So then, through more conversation and stuff like that, turns out that the gentleman had been incarcerated for, I don't know the exact title, homicide or manslaughter or whatever. Because somebody had done something awful to a minor. Then they come to find out he had his license for, I was like, and I'm blown away that he hadn't had his license for almost 30 years and he's driving, right? Which is, his prerogative. I get it. I'm not mad at him. I'm not singling him out, but I'm talking about the process. The process. No criminal record, valid driver's license. Well, that matter of fact, I need to talk about that too. Let me write that on the list here. Let me put talk about the tolls. So anyway, cross a couple things off here. So it's just crazy. Like here, I'm going through the process. When I go to, first of all, I get the mail correspondence from the Postal Service through the Postal Service telling me that I need to be available. I need to call this number, blah, 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 for a phone interview and stuff like that. So I do that 30 times. It rings through to a voicemail message. You leave a voicemail message. Nobody ever calls you back. It's crazy. And I had a specific date that I had to be completed by according to their letter. So I drive into Pensacola, go to their office. I couldn't get there until like midday-ish. So I'm going to say like 12:30, 1 o'clock or something like that. And go in there and I wait in line for like I go through the process, which is not very efficient there. It's like a total freak show. I'm not going to lie to you. Wait for like an hour and a half. I finally get in the line to wait again to go into a little small office area to be able to have a phone connection to a worker that would see if I qualify. Waited, I don't know, another 30 minutes just in line there to get into that office. And then I waited 48 minutes, something like that, before a human being would pick up. So give me 1 second. I need to do one thing here. I'm going to Stop camera and mute for 1 second. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, folks. So, trying to remember where I was before I left, but it's it's it's. I know people don't like hearing this. They don't like hearing it, but I'm going to tell you because I've got to live with it. But the curse is real. The freaking curse, my curse, for whatever reason, is real. I keep looking at this. Need to look into the camera. So yeah, it's real. So the just the simplest things are the biggest hurdle. Like this is going to sound stupid and idiotic to you, but like I like a military high and tight haircut when I get it. And lately I haven't been able to get it as often as I like, or I haven't found in this region, I haven't found a barber that can cut hair worth of crap. When I evacuated to this area during Hurricane Irma, John's 2 Barbershop gave me an excellent haircut. High and tight, it was perfect. Since then, I've been there a few times. Other people cut my hair, and I actually will pull up a picture of what a high and tight haircut looks like on Google. Show them this is what I like. This is how I want it. You see how there's no fade. I tell them the whole thing, and it's like I'm speaking Greek or something. Nobody can cut. It's like, oh my God. It's like just like those simple little things. And like the weather has been piss poor, just cold, windy. Today is a nice day. Um, there's stuff going on with my mom. I really can't talk about that, but it's like the typical stuff we've been anticipating. And um, I did not go to work today. Haven't called out. Just too much stuff going on, and I just can't do it. As I was sitting down there by the river, realizing how my life is just, it's going away. It's going away. I realized one more problem. I still owe tolls from when I lived in Lee County, and I'd been paying on that gradually, and I still owed $40 left on that. And what happens is, if depending on what agency it goes through, that was through the county, I believe. But basically, I remembered, oh crap, I still owe them $40. So I go check and get to the website. Now I can't even make a partial payment, so I got to call them and just explain. So I made like a $10 payment. But the lady was telling me that they're going to be attaching any toll delinquencies to registration renewals. I'm like, great, there we go. 115 now has just turned into 145, most likely. So I'm like, all right. And 2 nights ago, I've been boondocking closer to work. A lot of times I've been doing it at a Walmart, but Walmart has there was like a certain section for boondockers, campers, whatever you want to call them, and they have blocked all those areas off with pallets. I don't know if they're disgruntled with people that were staying there. I don't know if people were littering, or I know I can tell you for a fact that when I stayed there, I never even got out of my vehicle. I have everything I need in here. It's not pleasant or neat, but I can get by in here. So I never littered. So I don't know what the deal is there, but so I some of the one Waffle House I'd been staying at before I stayed there a couple of times, but it, it's not like what YouTube makes it out to be, even at Cracker Barrel and stuff like that. So um, I know there's more I want to talk about. Haircuts is for my taxes. That's not a thing on the list, but that that's a whole nother ball of worms. There's stuff with my business that is kind of on hold, my trademark, stuff like that, which some of those things require money. And I wish it was like a $50 payment or something, but it's not. Um, when I finally was able to get my PO box down here where I'm located now, down here, up here, Panhandle, I found out they had an option which I never knew was available prior, that you can get a PO box for 3 months for $55. In the past, I've only been given a 6-month option and an annual option. So when I signed up for it, I was in better shape financially, not in great shape, but a little bit better shape. So I thought I was really going to be on my feet up and running 3 months from the day I got the thing. Well, it's an automatic debit from my account, which I hate doing those, but I had to do it in that situation just to get a PO box, just so I get my Social Security card, all that stuff. So that the debit was due to process on the 31st, which was a couple of days ago, and it attempted and it got rejected. So I I was I go to the PO box this morning. I was locked out of my box. So I get talking to them. I was trying to at least pay the $57 because they had increased the rates, and now they're telling me the only option is 6 months or a year, which is basically um, $100 or $200. Like, come on, you kidding me? So everything, everything in my life, like literally weekly, that are mandatory things, is a $50 bill or a $100 bill. 50 or 100, 50 or 100. If I paid everything, I'm going to have no money for fuel, food. That's why food assistance was going to be a real nice assistance to help me survive. I'm SOL now. You're like, it just kills me. And listening to other people talk about their EBT and stuff like that, like they basically lie through the process. I'm telling the truth, explaining everything, showing documentation, everything, explaining that I'm living I'm homeless, and I have all the proof. I get $17 a month, but I'm eligible for $23 a month. That is, boy, that is awesome. I work in a grocery store. I see these families come in that are better dressed than me, and they're dropping $400 at a clip on groceries, and I see all the stuff that they're buying. That blows my mind, and I'm getting $17. I realize it's a family versus an individual, but these people are in there like several times a week and stuff like that. And it just blows my mind how, like, are these people cheating the system? I'm getting denied of the system that's supposed to help people like me, and I'm being honest. So I get $17 a month. So now I have to wait for another letter to come in the mail that I don't have access to the P.O. box because I'm freaking poor. So, my van, I was behind on my van. I have an agreement to pay them $100 a week, and my credit is just by doing that is going like that. Nothing I can do. Nothing I can do. So, it's that tractor trailer running down that hill, running out of control. That's me. That's my life. But the purpose of this video, um, I have ignored people deliberately. Chris, Jason, Brian, Ken, Sherry, Paul C., Dan, Tish, Pooch, Nick, Josh Sherman, LB. I have deliberately, and there's probably other names I've forgotten, because it's going to be an interrogation. How's it going? What's going on? And I'm living this shit daily. I got to live it. I repeat it all day long through my head. To repeat it to somebody else is embarrassing as hell. I've documented everything on YouTube. I've done it with Tish. I've done it with everybody. So I'm at peace now. But I at least want to acknowledge these people. I'm not happy, but I'm at peace because I've done everything in my power to do what I can do. And a matter of fact, this is gonna turn into a complete. I'm gonna say it as I feel it. This is gonna turn into a complete shit show when I tell you what I'm about to tell you. I'm not gonna score any friends. I'm probably gonna have people unsubscribe. At this point in my life, I got bigger problems. I don't give a rat's ass. I reached out a while back, months ago, to a big church here because I could forecast the weather and my finances, and at the time it was lack of finance, zero income. Here comes another helicopter, and this is terrific. And I know I've mentioned this. I can't remember if it was in conversation with somebody or done it on video, YouTube, what have you. But um, the first meeting I had with a pastor, like, somewhat went okay, and I'm like literally begging and crying for help, crying for assistance, begging to stay alive, crying. And after I went through that crap show for about an hour, the pastor tells me, he goes, "Well, I'm here to prepare you for eternity." Prepare me for eternity? dude, why don't you help me freaking stay alive until Thanksgiving? I'm there for survival and you're preparing me for eternity? Don't feed me that bullshit. I'm trying to stay alive. I'm coming to you as a church expecting humanitarian aid so I can stay alive. And you're going to prepare me for eternity? So, yeah, I'm pissed. That's the first time. So then, we get talking, but, I still tried to let it go and everything. And then, um, so I do go to show up to church the following Sunday and I go, and it was actually pretty okay. It was, you know, fish out of water, but it was okay. I thought it was pretty well done and everything. So I get talking to the same guy, the same pastor and everything. And we're talking and, so he wants to introduce me to another pastor and everything and all this, but he can't find them. And so they had this little form, a little check form. So I like, what are you there for? Eternity, salvation, blah, blah, blah. And I just put other. So, because I've already, it's basically my contact number, my name, my phone number, my email address. So then I started getting bombarded with emails, all this stuff. So, like, I'm getting pissed now because I'm trying to stay alive. Should be looking into the camera lens, but let me see if I can slam this thing down and maybe look a little bit better. I'm trying to stay alive. I'm not trying to be on some subscription list. I'm trying to stay alive. I'm hoping somebody in the church is going to understand humanitarian aid. To me, that should be the foundation of a church. If somebody wants to stay alive and comes to you crying in desperation to stay alive, find a way to accommodate them. Don't tell me that's not what you do. This is what I was told. It's not what we do. But here's a list of people you can contact for food. You can go to this, and it was like, oh my God, it was just crazy. So none of them are financial assistance, which I'm not saying. I'm just saying that everybody and their brother will give you peanut butter and jelly. There is zero financial assistance unless I'm a single mama with 5 kids by 5 different daddies. I can get all the money I want. Single Caucasian male, you're SOL, man. You're just on your own. If you're not a senior citizen, which I'm just under that, you know, it's the reality, man. You get pissed off at me if you want, but I'm telling you the reality of the system. The system sucks right now because people that have needs aren't always a category. They have a story, they have a reason, they have a life or a lack of life, obviously. So I end up meeting as I'm leaving church that day, I meet this guy, Pastor Dan, really nice guy. We get talking a little bit. We go in a room, we talk. I rehash the same stuff, and it's like I'm always repeating the same thing over and over again. That's why I hate doing that. Like all the names I mentioned before, it's like just me repeating, and it's me reminding myself of the same train wreck because nothing's getting better. So I'm explaining to this pastor, and we started to talk. We started to bond, and then things were kind of going okay. But like, I consider myself a free thinker. If you tell me the Earth is flat, I might not agree with you. And if I don't agree with you, I'm going to tell you I don't agree with you. If you try and convince me there's a God, maybe for you, certainly not in my life. So I express my honest thoughts with this pastor and stuff like that. And he's really nice because he's like trying to subtly convert me. I get that. Next thing I know, I get another email from another pastor. They're all from the same church. They're all asking the same question. Fill out this form, and I'm like now I'm on the pastor number 3. And needless to say, my dialogue at that point, I didn't care. I don't care. I don't care now. I'm making my point to them that if a church does not have humanitarian aid as one of their top priorities, it's not a church I want to be part of. If you do not want to do any, it got to 7 freaking degrees. I had no heat running in my van because I didn't have money. Not one person from the church called and said, "Hey, are you doing okay? Can you want to sleep in our gymnasium tonight?" Not one time. But they want me to go to church and put money in the basket, the little wicker basket that comes around. No. You want me to believe? You prove to me. Prove to me. I've explained I've opened my heart, my soul, and told you everything. And you want me to believe? No. Show me something. Show me something. So I'm telling you right now, I'm done. I'm toast. Put a fork in me. I am done. Nothing I can do. Nothing. They're not going to do is jack shit. Church isn't going to do jack shit. But you know what? When people are gone, people always say, you always hear this. I don't care where you hear it. You always hear this. Wish we had known. Wish we could have done more. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Just to make yourself feel good. I'm telling you, like, there's so many ways people are going to interpret this video. Like, I'm entitled and all this stuff. Like, it just blows my mind. For being honest, you get ridiculed. How you feel, what you're going through, you get ridiculed. It's like, I'm not robbing convenience stores. I'm trying to make it through this shit show in a legal manner without disrupting other people's lives. I have visions and hopes and dreams for other people prior to myself. I can't even think. I've been told my dreams are done. They've been canceled because of a lie, a big freaking lie that was told to me. I was told I was going to get help. And then I was told, no, your dreams are done. Your dreams are done. And the thing that sucks with this vehicle situation, 2 nights ago, I go to start it, and it goes, sounds like a bad starter, but it's all in the shifting control. It's all in that. So it's been a problem, but don't have the money to take care of it. What can I do? Hey, Mo Dog. But it's like, I just look around, right? And I look at people, places, things. I analyze everything I do. Everything I do in life, I analyze. Internal analyzation, right? I look, and then I also reflect on friends, people I know, or people I've had relationships with that, you know, how they got their money, or how they're and it's no two situations are the same. Some are good, some are bad, some are freaking awful. Here I am in the awful category. So like I'm just I'm not ignoring you, Modog. Just I'm on a roll here. I'm just gonna let it play out. So I just, none of this makes sense to me. None of this makes sense to me. And when I click off of this, which is probably going to be in about 5 minutes or so, I'm going to go back to the same shitty life that I had. Same shitty life. I have more debt due this week than I have income. People are going to take that true statement as another solicitation for money. I'm telling you the truth. I'm not asking. I'm just telling you the truth. That's where I am right now. It's like damned if you do, you damned if you don't. If I talk to people, I'm an ass. If I don't talk to people, I'm an asshole. If I talk to people, they misinterpret. It's like what's the purpose? It's like I'm a single dude, single Caucasian American that is 6 months from being eligible to apply for Social Security. Then there's a 2-month waiting period. So basically, October 1st, if by chance I live that long, which is not on the radar, I could get benefits. My air conditioning barely works. My heat, thank God, works better than my air conditioning. But today it's like 70, it's 69 degrees currently. It's 3:36 p.m. Central Time, 69 degrees. Not too bad. But you know what happens when sun goes through like a magnifying glass? It gets hot, and it can, you can, like if you're a Boy Scout, you can start, leaves on fire and stuff like that for survival and everything. Well, my air conditioning barely works. So when we get into the 80s and the 90s, it's going to be an oven in here. It's not that far off from where it's going to be. There's going to be a period of time in between, and the transition is probably not going to be too bad. Nothing I can do. I'm just here. Nothing I can do. I'm a captive of my own situation. Stuff with my mom. She either never calls or calls when I'm working, which her brain is fried. It's not her fault. It's just something that happened, and just all the stuff going on with her. It's just like I nothing I can do. Matter of fact, nothing I can do sums up everything perfectly. Right now, my entire life, or you know, I've been talking about this for a long time. There's a difference between a life and just having an existence. And um, thank you, Modo. But I think I'm tough, and I know all the bull crap I've been through in this crap show has been horrific. People don't know. I mean, I've tried to tell you, but till you have pneumonia for 4.5, 5 weeks, and you're shivering at night, and you're coughing and you're puking in a bucket every night because you don't have money. You don't have money to run the heat or anything like that. And it's not like you get rid of that, overnight. It's a process, unfortunately. But oh man, I wish I could remember those few words I said. No, there's nothing I can do right now. Well, actually, there is something I can do, but right now, literally, I'm losing a day's pay today, which is, trust me, it's not a whole lot. I'm hoping in some manner I can make it up. Um, I, I have a camping stove I'm trying to sell. Haven't had much luck with that. There's an option locally that possibly could have done that, but no. So um, it's weird. Like I would love this area is so beautiful up here. I could do fishing videos and there's all kinds of scenic trail and hikes and you can do and there's all kinds of beautiful things and I have a million ideas in my head of videos that I would like to do. I spent $25 today to resubscribe to StreamYard just to apologize to the people I mentioned previously. And I'll mention that one more time, just so I want to make sure that the message is clear. And like I said, there may be a name or two I miss or forgotten. It's just stress. It's not intentional. Chris from Shade Tree America, Jason Johnson from JJ Drones, Brian from Cheesehead Media, Ken from Bone Cowboy Adventures, Sherry, an old friend from high school who pops in every once in a while, Paul C. on YouTube, Dan, the droning veteran, Tish and Pooch from Full Blown Country, Nick from Multi Hunter 24/7, Josh Sherman from Sherman's Family Farm, LB from Woman Outdoors. So those are just some of the people. Uh, $25 I could have spent. This will make me feel better talking to some of my friends, former friends, whatever category people are going to go into. But to me, it's a $25 well spent. $25 not getting me out of my getting my PO box open and all that. So I believe in trying to be respectful when possible. So it here I am, just waiting for the end. Just waiting for the end. You know, I watched Tish and Pooch try and help Goat Days, and it that's what I want. I've always wanted to be that. I want to be able to do that for people, help them, and nothing I can do. It hurts me. Nothing I can do. I can't even help myself, like I said earlier, and it just sucks. I'm just sitting here watching my life go away. You're not judged by. There's no credit score for good intentions or your values or your thoughts or your wishes or no, you're just a freaking number. That's you know what? I die tomorrow. People might talk for a day or two about me, and after that, you know what? They're back to YouTube. They're doing their thing. Just a number, man. That's all we are. We're just a number. We're just a, a place in space for a very short time, and it goes on. And it goes on. There's another part. It's like it just goes on. We're just there's no guarantees, right? So I'm checking out, folks. Talk to you later. Say hi to a stranger when you can.